Welcome back to another episode, my higher ups. Like, subscribe, comment so we can make sure we get this community large, in charge, and ready to do what it needs to do. Now imagine this scenario. You walking down the street, nice neighborhood, beautiful things going on. You see flowers over here, beautiful trees over here. You speaking to all your neighbors like, hey neighbor, what's going on? How you doing? Okay. You keep walking. You get to one particular neighbor and you notice he has a beautiful patch of flowers, right? Full of the most beautiful flowers you've seen in the whole neighborhood. And you like, yo, where did these flowers come from? But you look at him and you look at him like, what are you doing? And you see him watering the weeds on the other side. He's just putting all the water on the weeds and he's not even being attentive to the flowers over here. That's essentially a metaphor for us when we making excuses for why we can't do what we need to do. We basically watering our weeds instead of cultivating the garden that we have right here in front of us that looks beautiful, that's flourishing, that's thriving, all the skills that we have, all the lessons that we've learned, all the people that we've run into, all the love that we've been given. We're choosing to water our weeds and make excuses. So I kind of want to talk about a couple of ways that you can stop watering your weeds and instead tend to the garden of your life in the right way. Basically, watering your weeds is essentially self-sabotage. That's what's going on here, right? It's part of you that's wanting to receive the success, and then the other part of you that's resisting change. And that's not going to do you any good. You have to be open and willing and embrace what's going to come with that change. We can't sit here and think like, oh, you know what, I want to be successful, but then be like, but I don't want to change anything that I'm doing. I don't want to try to get rid of some of the habits, the bad habits that I have, but I want to make sure I be successful. They don't add up. And basically what you're doing essentially is self-sabotaging, all right? But you got to understand the roots of self-sabotage. The roots of self-sabotage is basically essential for overcoming everything that you need in order to get to that success. Now, mind you, it has deep roots. It could come from psychological trauma. It could come from just bad experiences that you've had in a team or whatever that is. But you got to be willing to understand that, like, that happened. Like, we can't sit in victim mentality all day. So the first thing we got to do is get rid of the self-sabotage, because that's not going to get you nowhere. And of course, we can't just talk about doing better. When it comes to the garden, we can't just look at the garden and be like, well, it ain't growing, so I'm going to focus on these excuses over here and these weeds over here because they growing. Well, they're growing faster because you're putting the action over here with the excuses. Every time you make an excuse, you're putting the action towards that excuse by not doing. By not doing, you're actually doing something, and you're ruining your chances for the future. But what we need to be doing over here is putting action towards the actual garden that's going to look good. It's going to feel good. It's going to get you the good air, everything that you need. Commit to putting the action behind the things that are going to get you exactly what you want, and not the things that's going to get you what you don't want, because that's doing nothing but working backwards, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't want to work backwards. On this channel, on High Frequency, it's all about progressing forwards. Okay, set clear and achievable goals. If that's going to help you, if you just need to go put a little bit of water on one side of the garden, that's fine. Do what you need to do, but make sure it's something that you can sustain and something that's going to actually get you a level of excitement once you reach that goal. So don't water these over here. Let's get the action behind these over here. Put all the water over here. Listen, I know they say ignorance is bliss, and in some cases, maybe it can be. But when it comes to self-improvement and growing this garden and to stop watering your weeds, ignorance is not bliss. Keep getting the knowledge, right? Keep learning how to tend to the garden in the best way. Keep learning how to make sure that business can thrive in the best way. Keep learning how you can take things from over here, implement it in here, and make you 10x your goals. That's what's going to get you a place. If you just over here watering your weeds and excuses because that's what you know best, is because you don't have enough knowledge that it's going to get you to the part of the garden that's going to make the most sense. You want to make sure that you're taking time out each day to learn something new. I try to make sure I'm learning something new every day and writing it down making sure that I can see how I can actually take that new thing and make it an actionable thing as well. And you in this garden of life, not by yourself, you here with other people. So every time you water your weeds and you talk about watering your weeds to somebody else, that's not helping them. You need to talk about the garden that you got and the knowledge that you're learning from working on the garden that you got, how you're learning about your soil. You're learning about how to do things different. You're learning that, oh my God, I didn't know that if I put this in place of this and did this, that this beautiful thing will come out of it. Share that knowledge. Like, that's a big part of making sure you don't water your weeds, but making sure you actually cultivating this garden that's going to keep spreading, keep spreading, keep spreading. That's what we're here to do. We're here to create this community of a big garden that's going to help millions and millions of people. The last thing that'll help you is really like putting a boundary around your garden. Like, once you stop watering these weeds, make sure you put a boundary around it. Like, all right, now I can't let no weeds get nowhere near this. I got to protect this garden. I got to protect this heart of mine. I got to protect this business of mine. I got to protect this growth of mine, because these weeds, they'll try to like get all in your shit and have it going on. Like, you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that. We want to keep the weeds over here and make sure we put a nice fence. You know, you see the gardens with the nice fence around. You're like, damn, that's a nice garden. You got to protect it. It's behind this nice little wall, this nice little cage. So I can make sure you can see it. It's trimmed. It's looking beautiful. And people will start to notice. Your friends will start to be like, hey, man, I see you in the gym. Hey, girl, I see you working on your business. I see your skin looking good. You looking like you walking upright. You look like you got more confidence. That garden of yours is really blooming. Them weeds you used to have, they not there no more. I can't even see them. I don't know where those weeds are at. How you make your garden like that? Like, what tools did you use? Like, what did you use? A certain type of water? Like, how's it so green? Like, all the petals on all the flowers are looking so good. Then your vocabulary is getting better. Like, I see you growing. Like, you out of debt. You doing all these things help once you put that boundary around that garden and protect it and understand that this is something that's going to help you in your future, and it's going to help the people around you. It's going to help your family. It's going to help your kids. It's going to help those who are in close proximity to you. Once you stop watering those weeds, they don't grow no more. And matter of fact, you cut them out. You just cut them out. They're not even in your vicinity no more. Them things are out of here. You're not even worried about them no more. They never coming back over here. All we doing is cultivating this garden. All we doing is making sure this garden is good. So keep thriving, man. I want y'all to keep making sure you're watering the right things. Stop watering your weeds and start watering your skills and everything else that you have that's going to prepare you for your future. Water the things that's right about you, right? If you're a good speaker, if you're a good singer, if you're a good host, if you're just a good person, you got a good heart, if you work hard at it, water that stuff. Water what you can on that stuff and watch your garden continue to grow. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Until next time, stay high. Let's go.